Hello students, good morning. Now in your previous period we learned that is the introduction of your operating system and that also the startup process of a computer which I shown you a YouTube video how your computer is going to start, and during that start process BIOS, that is your basic input system, that is input or output system will be taking place in our memory. That particular initial program which is known as your post, that is your which is known as your post, the full form of post is power on self test. That means the initializing of that particular program, or that means of a computer, is shown in your previous period. Now today we are going to start with your functions of an operating system. Now functions of an operating system, the first point, that is you're providing hardware access as a common service. Now providing hardware as a access as a common service means, as you know, that whenever we are connecting printer or a pen drive, okay, each and every time when we are connecting, during that time we can see at the down bottom part we can see your device is ready to use. Such kind of message we are receiving it. That means whenever we are connecting any keyboard, pen drive, printer, that means any of your hardware device, it detects what kind of device is that, then according to that device it starts functioning. This detecting part is done by the hardware, that is your the detecting part of the hardware is done by the operating system, which is in short is known as your OS. The full form of OS is your operating system. Okay. For example, if I'm saying that as you know that each and every classroom you will be having a class teacher. For each and every class you will be having a one class teacher, and these students will be allotted very different type of roll numbers. Okay, so just imagine if one of your friend, that means just imagine this is as a class A. If some student from class B comes to your class A and sits in between, do you think teacher won't be recognizing? Yeah, teacher will be recognizing him that this student is not in their or he or her class. Okay, that means in the same way, this type of recognition, that means yeah, this type of hardware recognition is also done by your operating system. Now what, don't get confused that according to your textbook it is given just as a printer. Okay, to handle a fixed set of devices like printer, it is giving, they are showing just an example of a printer. Not only a printer, many devices are there. That means your if I'm best example I can say mouse, keyboard, printer, joystick, that means gaming joystick is also a hardware device. Okay, projector is also a hardware device. Okay, now another type of hardware device is your barcode scanner. As you know that whenever we are going in a supermarket, that is a D-Mart, VR mall, many kind of Dheeraj store, many kind of multi-level marketing level. Okay, during that time we are seeing that they use a barcode scanner to scan the barcodes. Now this barcode scanner is directly attached to your computer, okay, of their computer. Okay, so what happens when they are attaching that particular barcode scanner, it starts retrieving, or it starts detecting what kind of hardware device is that. In this way it detects, and according to that it starts functioning. This is the main or the first function of your operating system, that is you're providing hardware access as a common service. Okay, now second function of your hardware is about your controlling, regulating and supervising resources in the computer. Now just imagine I have already using the Google Chrome. Okay, this is my Google Chrome. Now in my Google Chrome I am using this PDF just to explain it. In background, if I want to open Word file, that is a Microsoft Word. See, Microsoft Word, I am going to open it. It will be taking time. Yeah, it is going to start now. See, what I have done, already I am using the Google Chrome. In between that I have started Microsoft Word. So if I want to type something over here, I can type it. That means doing same program at a single time is known as your multi-programming. See, here is the concept. That means the ability to do more than one task. Okay, so it is this task or this ability is known as your multi-programming. Okay, and this is the function which is done by your operating system. As you all know that whenever we are buying many mobile phones, okay, we used to check what kind of operating system is there, and the best example I can say that if you are using Android as well as your iOS, that is your Apple, which one is the better one? According to us, we all know that iPhone is a better one because it works in a smooth way. Smooth way means there will be no hanging problem. It's not like if we are using any hard or a high RAM application, that is the games. If we are using the games in that particular iPhone, okay, it will be moving or it will be running in a smooth way. Why? It is just because of OS, that means the operating system, which regulates or who controls the resources which is in your computer or in your mobile phone also. Okay, and this ability, that means ability to perform more than one task, is known as your multi-programming. And this is the main function, a second main function of your operating system, which is known as your controlling, regulating and supervising resources in the computer. Okay, now one more thing, if I already opened Word, now in between if I want to open Microsoft Excel, I can open it, there is no issue. Okay, see, I'm trying to opening Microsoft Excel. It is going to start now. Yeah, already started. See, now what I'm using my Microsoft Excel. See, so how many processes are working in background? First of all, Excel is there. Okay, I'm closing it right now. Word is there. Word is also running. Then after Word, I am using my Google Chrome also. So this is what I am showing. In between, my screen record is also running. See, this is my screen recorder where I am recording my audio as well as video. So this is also an application which is running in background. Now this whole process is which is done by the computer. Okay, this process is done by your operating system. Okay, this was your second function of your operating system. Now third function is about your handling multiprocessor system. Handling multiprocessor system means a computer having more than one processor is known as a multiprocessor. That means a computer which is having more than one processor is known as your multiprocessor system. That means why we are using this multiprocessor is that as you know that when during the first time if I'm trying to start my this Excel or Word, you have seen some time has been taken. Okay, that means a lag has been taken. If I'm trying to open my Excel file, you can see some time it is taking. So this time, for reducing this time, we will be using more processor, one more processor. Okay, just to reduce the time between in switching between my applications, and this is also handled by the processor. Okay, and this processor is handled by the operating system, which is known as your OS. Okay, so OS, operating system, for such multiprocessor systems are considerably more complex than those designed for single processor system. That means in some of the computers, that is your supercomputers. In supercomputers, as I told you before, supercomputers are those computers which is used in your launching the rockets. Okay, which is used by scientists. Okay, such kind of computers, they are having more than one CPU, or the CPU processors will be they are using for making their work as a more faster and smoother. Okay, so such kind of computers will be more complex than rather than for a single processor system. That means in your computer lab you have seen that it is just one CPU and one processor, that's it. Okay, we are not doing any hard task or a more complicated tasks we are not doing. So we need just one processor, that means a one CPU as well as a one processor, that's it. But for handling multiprocessor, we need a multiprocessor system. Okay, and this multiprocessor system is handled by the operating system, which is also known as OS. Okay, now for fourth point is that starting and stopping program execution. That means, as you know, that each and every program when we are trying to start it, okay, it is running in background. This is the only reason when we used to say that if our battery drains, if I'm taking the best example of a mobile phone, in a mobile phone when we are turning on the internet or a Wi-Fi, automatically our social media, that is a Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, each and every social media, it starts working in a background. In even though if we are closing the internet, still the processes are being running in your background. This is the only reason when we are trying to charge our battery full. Okay, even though if we are seeing 100% after keeping the battery as in 100%, still keep that phone idly without using for a 2 to 3 hours. Okay, charge your phone till 100%, keep your phone and idly at the side just for 2 to 3 hours, not only 2 to 3 hours, just for 1 hour also, just keep it side. Okay, even after 1 hour also you can see 1% battery has been reduced. Now what is that 1% battery, where this 1% battery has been gone? This is the reason. That means the reason is that many background processes or the programs are being executed. Okay, according to computer also, the many background processes are being done. For getting that, I can show you right now. See, this is my laptop, and over here in my taskbar, that is the bottom part, right click, you can see start task manager, and over here I can get a window where online application which is running. Can you see this status? This status over here, you can say Google Chrome status running, W Professional by NCS Software. Can you see running? Document one Word running, Google Chrome running, local disk E running, sticky notes running. That means each and every task they are running in background. Even though if I'm trying to close it, it will be working. So just imagine this is an application which I can close it. Okay, so many processes are also the same. The whole processes, these are your processes which is running in background. If I am trying to close this all the processes, automatically my computer will be shutting down. That means many important processes are also running. You can see CPU usage 47%, 49%. See, can you see over here? This CPU usage means in background many applications are running. This is the only reason my battery, that means your battery will be draining, whether it's a laptop, computer or a mobile phone, any device which is working on your software, it will be draining your battery. That means operating system, this operating system, many this operating system handles many softwares or programs which leads to your draining of your battery. Okay, the another one more example I can say that in your iOS, that is your iPhone, you can see whenever we are using iPhone for 1 hour or 2 hour compared to Android, it will be draining more battery. Why? First of all, reason is that the battery capacity is very low. Second is that it takes more processor work. That means it starts heating. Uh, I don't know whether you have noticed or not. Compared to your normal Android phones, your iPhones will be heating more and more. The reason is that it starts working more and more process. So for nowadays, according to your mobile phones, that is your iPhones, we are having liquid cooled crystal display. Like mean liquid cooled display means what happens if the computer or a mobile starts heating due to more and more process. What happens, it automatically cools down. That means, as you know, that when we if Fire catches, what we used to do, we used to pour water, okay, for cooling down. In the same way, a liquid crystal technology has been used in your mobile phone also, just to cool down that particular OS. And this is your another function of your operating system, that is a starting and stopping program execution. Okay. Now next process is about your controlling access to the memory. Controlling access to the memory means whenever we are trying to turning on our application, that means if I am going to turn on Microsoft Excel, okay, now you can see a certain pause is there. Now this pause means they are asking the permission to the operating system whether this software has to be installed or not. Suppose if I am installing any gaming software, okay, PUBG or any kind of softwares, if I am trying to install it, first of all they will be asking whether it should be installed or not. Now why they are asking that this should be installed? The reason is that many a times viruses can be inserted. So before that, user will be getting alert whether this software or this application should be installed or not. And this is also seen in your mobile phone also. Whenever if you are trying to download any of your application from your Play Store, during that time they will be giving the message, are you sure you want to install? Sometimes you might not be getting it because in your settings you have been saved as open source, unknown source, okay button you have been clicked. Okay, mainly by default many people you will be clicking that thing, but in your computer by default they will be asking whether to run this software or application or not. And when we click on run button, then only our program will be running in background. This process is done, or this controlling power is done by, or given access to the memory is done by the operating system. So today we learn 5 functions of your operating system. That is your first one is your providing hardware access as a common service. Second, controlling, regulating, supervising resources in the computer. Third function of your operating system is that handling multi-processor system. And fourth function is the controlling and stopping program execution. And the fifth one right now we learn is that is your controlling access to the memory. These were the certain functions which we learned today, functions of an operating system. Just 3 functions will be there left remaining, which will be discussed in your next period. Okay, I hope you all understood. Thank you, students.